This is the 2023 Volvo C40. It's the sporty version of the Volvo XC40, hence the sloping roof line back here. Kind of hard to see because I have the rear door open, but this is the Recharge Twin all-wheel drive Ultimate. If you were curious about that, its exterior color is Thunder Gray, and I borrowed this model from my friends here at Volvo Cars of Shreveport. So we're going to take a look inside and out at what this model is, give you all the pertinent details, and if you want to know more about it, click on the link down in the description of this video. It will take you to the Volvo Cars of Shreveport website. If it's still in inventory, it'll take you right to this vehicle. Otherwise, it'll take you to their main page. And something that's interesting here, you do have 20-inch wheels all the way around, but tire sizes vary. 235/45 here on the front, and on the rear we're going to have 255/40s. So 255 on the width, 40 on the sidewall size. So obviously this is an all-wheel drive vehicle, going to be giving you plenty of traction, plenty of capability on road, and believe it or not, off-road. It actually has an off-road mode. That's right. So LED headlights, LED daytime running lights. The blinker looks like Thor's hammer, so if you want to impress the drivers around you in multiple ways, use your blinkers. Obviously the front end is going to look a little different here because of the fact that, well, as you can see, there is no engine under the hood, obviously, because it is battery powered, all electric, pure electric. The only thing that resembles anything of a conventional under hood area here is going to be right here, your windshield washer fluid filling neck right there, filler neck right there, and a lot of gloss black here as well. Gloss black mirror caps. You're gonna have those side or turn signal indicators built into the side view mirrors. These are power folding heated side view mirrors. See, I told you they were power folding side view mirrors. And while we're at it, we'll look at the remote. Really no different than what you would have with your traditional XC40, such as like we have right there. So your buttons to control everything will be on the side, and you have basically a clean face with that Volvo logo on one side and just nothing on the other, but a very clean and nice, easy to use remote. And right here, what do we have? Well, obviously that's where you're going to plug in to charge everything for the vehicle. And let's talk a little bit about what you can expect number-wise with all of that. Horsepower numbers come in at 402 combined. 226 miles is what you should be able to travel on one full charge. 0 to 60 is in 4.5 seconds. And to charge from 10% to 80% will take 37 minutes. And what about those all-important MPGs? Well, here is what you can expect. 94 city, 80 highway, and then 87 combined, and you can count on 39 kilowatt hours per 100 miles. When it comes to cargo capacity, obviously you're going to have a little bit extra here in the frunk. Yes, that's right, the front trunk, or frunk as it's known. And then underneath here, you're going to find the tire repair kit. If you ever have a flat tire, well, you might be able to deal with it with that. But unfortunately, there is no spare tire here, and I know a lot of people don't like that very much. But we're going to close this area right here and go to the rear, and something that you will find here that is very common is going to be the power hands-free rear lift gate. So let's see if I can show you this. Very easy to use. Whoops, well, I say it's easy to use. Come on, let's see if we can get that to work. There we go, I got it that time. So cargo capacity ranges between 15 cubic feet up to 49 cubic feet. You do lose a little bit of space because of the shape of the roof, that roof line right there. You still have your pass-through right here if you want to use that. And then we'll go in here and show you how to maximize your cargo capacity. It's no different than it would normally be with a Volvo XC40 with the gas motor under the hood, but you're still going to lower these seats and all that good stuff. So quite a bit of space here regardless, even though you lose a little bit between the C40 and the XC40 if you were going to go with that version right there. Even the XC40 Recharge, the pure electric, would still have a little more cargo capacity. But if you want that sporty roof line, well, that's the price you have to pay. You do have the removable cargo cover right here All you have to do is release these little pieces right here and basically just pop it out. No big deal at all. And underneath the floor here in the rear, you will find the tools to change a tire, even though you don't have a spare tire. But there you go, in case you were wondering about that, a little bit of extra space right there. And obviously it's going to come with the charging cable. So there you go, you know what that is. And you can have a couple of different chargers put in at your house if you would like to. There is a 110 and a 220 that are available to be installed at your home. But speaking of the vehicle, take a look at the rear right here. Everything looks good, but it's also functional as well to help improve aerodynamics, because obviously cheating the wind is of utmost importance with one of these EVs to help reduce usage on the battery. And there's a couple of different ways to conserve charge beyond just aerodynamics of the vehicle. And what will you find in the rear seat area, or maybe your rear seat passengers? Well, some soft touch materials here for the armrest. It may not look all that cushiony, but it is nice and comfortable and has quite a bit of give to it. Same size door bins as what you would have on the conventional XC40, as well as the seat pockets on the back, or net material right there. And you already saw the armrest folded down right here, but you do have the built-in drink holders right there, as well as the dual air conditioning vents and connectivity options down here, or an option at least. A couple of USB ports and the controls for the heated seats. You can also have the black interior here with the white contrast stitching and a nice panoramic sunroof for the enjoyment of your rear seat passengers. And if you happen to be a door bin snob, is there really such a thing? Well, there might be. And if you're one of those, you need to call Shotgun, because you have a much larger door bin here in the front than you did back there in the rear. Same setup right here with the soft touch materials and elegant materials throughout the interior as far as what you have for the driver and the passenger here in the front, and obviously throughout the entire vehicle. Comfortable seating. It is very comfortable, to be exact. And then you've got the nice paneling right here. We're also going to have the glove box, quite a bit of space down there. And you're still going to have some of those same little spots underneath this area right here, and other little creative nooks and crannies throughout the interior where you can store things. You do have your traditional console here and the trash can as well. They could really be used in a multitude of ways depending on needs and desires, or you could just leave that out if you want to. Wireless charging right here, 12-volt power outlet, as well as USB connectivity. And then the shifter. Not anything terribly out of the ordinary here, but what is out of the ordinary is that there is no key and there is no button to push to start this vehicle. And for the most part, we're going to see the same setup here on the driver's side door that we did on the passenger side door, other than a couple of additions. You've got 2 settings for seat memory, and then controls for the power side view mirrors. I don't have to tell you what all is here. I think you're pretty much aware of that, but you do still have the 2 holders for business cards. You could put credit cards in there if you want to. I don't know if I would recommend that, but you could. And by the way, what do you think about that interior color as far as the carpet goes in here? Do you like that? Do you not? What do you think about it? Power seat again here for the driver. So let's hop inside, and all I have to do is get in and everything automatically comes on. So I don't actually have to really do anything to make that happen. The vehicle is ready to drive now. All I have to do is put the shifter or shift into drive with the shift-by-wire single-speed transmission, and off we go. So we'll get that out of the way, go back into park so I can show you the instrument cluster. A very nice digital instrument cluster. Going to give you all the information you need to know. It's very much like the XC40 typically would be as far as 2023 goes. So not a big difference there, but still all that great information. You can go through a lot with your steering wheel mounted controls. You're going to have your cruise control, voice commands, all the typical things you would expect to see here. But one of the things that has really set these C40s apart, these pure electric models of the XC40, is found right here with the infotainment screen. The fact that so many people have complained about that over the years, saying it's too difficult to use. Well, that's why you have Google Assistant now. And the good thing is that it's completely interactive, so you don't have to put in any information to use navigation. You can just ask Google, tell her where you want to go and she'll take care of that for you. Or you can ask any simple thing like this, such as, "Hey Google, how far can I drive?" I didn't say she was fast.
You can drive for about 93 miles with the remaining charge.
Or you can do this. "Hey Google, turn the temperature down to 70 degrees.
All right, changing the temperature to 70 degrees.
And that's a big advantage because you still don't have any physical buttons to control the air conditioning. So I know a lot of people would like to see physical buttons somewhere within the interior for the AC, whether you're using heat or air or whatever you're doing, but not here. But it's so much easier now to use than ever before. Here are your apps that are available. Pretty simple to figure out what is there. And then you also have your rear view camera, but there are multiple cameras here. In fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to change positions here so that we can have a little bit easier time seeing how well these cameras work. So right here, I'm parked next to this V60, and you can see on the screen that it gives you an image, a live image of being parked next to that vehicle. So very helpful in that respect. And obviously there are other angles you can look at with the camera as far as zooming in. If you want to look over to the other side or in the front, pretty easy to do. Obviously the rear is pretty easy. And it does have the parking sensors on it. So it's going to start beeping at you to indicate what's going on to let you know. And then you do have your heated seats right here. Let's see if we can get that to come up. Heated seats, and then the heated steering wheel as well for the driver. And right here, if you're wondering, what do I do with the vehicle? Are there multiple driving modes? So there's only two driving modes, just your regular mode, and then you have off-road mode. So that's Volvo saying this thing can do a little bit off-road. You can turn pilot assist off and on. There's your safety assistance features that you can turn on or off depending on what you want to do. And then right down here, driving dynamics. This is really important. One of the ways I was telling you about conserving the battery, other than just keeping your foot out of it, because the more you floor it, well, obviously the more battery you use up as far as the charge goes. But you also can use one pedal. What is that exactly? Well, it's basically regenerative braking, where when you take your foot off the pedal, the vehicle automatically starts to slow down on its own. It doesn't mean that the brakes don't work in the conventional way where you can still push on the pedal if you need to, but it will slow down on its own, and it does so fairly rapidly. The brake lights do come on when that happens, in case you were curious about that. But there is how you do that. That's regenerative braking, so it really helps to conserve the battery and help charge it back up a little bit, in case you were wondering about that. And so ultimately, that is a tour of what we have here. Why don't we get on the road and see what it's like to drive the C40? All right, we're going to get out on the road, and overall the driving experience in this C40 is really good. The one thing that you might want to pay attention to, and it's not that big of a deal because you have the blind spot information system, blind spot detection there with your side view mirrors. The back window is pretty small. It's not bad, but it's small enough to where I have to duck my head down just a little bit to be able to see out of it pretty well and see behind me. As far as traffic that's further back, it's not a big deal, but it is something to be aware of. Just something I noticed there, but you know, you have these nice large side view mirrors, all the great safety features here that help out, that pretty much eliminate that issue. But it's just, for me, the peace of mind of being able to see really well out of the back window. And then again, you might get used to it. Depending on who you are and where you position the seat, it actually may not be an issue at all. The ride quality is good. Obviously, the handling is good. Being all-wheel drive, there's a lot of advantages here as far as what you can do and where you can do it. And obviously, when you want to, well, you can drop the hammer. I don't really have the place to do it at the moment, but with that instant torque that single-speed transmission provides, if you're familiar with the sport of drag racing, it's kind of like high gear only in a top fuel dragster or a funny car, where it's just, you only have that high gear and it's just going to be a lot quicker acceleration because it's not working its way through a multi-speed transmission and all of the gears and all of that, everything that it has to turn. that contributes to the way the vehicle gets down the road. It doesn't accelerate like a top fuel dragster or a funny car, but the 0 to 60 is supposed to be about 4.5 seconds here. I've actually done it in one of these in a little under 4.5 seconds. I think 4.44, so that's what I did. Not too bad, but the Draggy didn't have a charge on it today, so I'm not able to actually do that today, but that's all right. Okay, here we go. We're going to do a little acceleration. Let's see how it goes. I'll tell you what, that is absolutely insane. And by no means is this a super fast vehicle or anything like that, but I'll tell you what, it sure is wild to drive. Even not being one of the more powerful EVs out there. But watch this. I don't know that you can see my feet from where you are, your vantage point there, but I'm just going to take my foot off the pedal and let's see how long it takes to stop. I was doing about 40 miles an hour right there. Let's just see it. So I'm on one pedal is the reason for that, just to kind of show you how that works. So I'm going to turn that back off. We're going to get back out on the road and finish this test drive up. So if you are looking for what could ultimately be the ultimate crossover coupe EV, well, the Volvo C40 is definitely something you might want to check out. Like I said, if you want to look at possibly buying this model, it is available here at Volvo Cars of Shreveport in Shreveport, Louisiana. Check that link down in the description of the video. And if you want to learn about other vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.